Dawn breaks red over the sacred grove, the home of spirits and stories, breathes its last. British soldiers move like a line of locusts, torches flaring. Flames rise, swallowing the tall Iroko trees, the shrines carved with faces of gods, the drums that once spoke to thunder. From the hill, Obafemi watches, smoke coils around him like mourning cloth. The wind carries the cries of the forest and the screams of sacred birds. Behind him, young warriors gather, fear shadowing their eyes. They burn even the spirits, one whispers. Obafemi turns, eyes hard as iron. Then let the spirits burn in our blood, he says. Below, the grove collapses into ash. From the ridge of Umwaga Hill, Obafemi leads the charge. His voice cuts through the morning fog. Today, we fight for the earth that bore us. Warriors surge forward, feet pounding the red soil. Spears glint, arrows whistle. Obafemi fights hard, leading fiercely. Beside him, his closest friend, Odikonle leaps to strike. A bullet finds him mid-cry. He drops waddles. Eyes open to the sky. Obafemi screams, charging through the haze, seizing a British soldier by the throat. The two tumble into the dirt. Then, silence. Only echoes remain, carried on the wind. Obafemi kneels beside Odikonle's body, the battle still raging around him. His voice breaks into a whisper, "We will not vanish." The palace stands under siege, its red walls trembling with gunfire. Around the palace, smoke curls through shattered windows. His guards lie scattered across the courtyard. The gates burst open. British soldiers pour in. Captain White steps forward, revolver raised. "Your reign ends today," he says. Obanla rises slowly. His eyes hold no fear. "You do not end a reign," he answers. "You end a people's peace." Women wail. Children hide beneath baskets. The gods of the land are silent. The soldiers led him away for execution. The once proud warriors of Obanla's land now move like shadows among the trees, weary, wounded, silent. Obafemi leads them. Behind him, Abeni tends to a crying child. The echo of gunfire still haunts the air. They reach a hidden cave near the river, the last safe place. Obafemi looks at the burning village. "We have lost the king, the drums, our home," he says. Then, lifting his head, voice steady, but not the spirit. "As long as we breathe, the gods remember." Outside, the forest sways like a living witness. The rebellion lives on in whispers of the night. A pale dawn creeps over the smoldering ruins of Umwaga village. Reverend Collins walks through the wreckage, his boots crunching on burnt offerings and shattered calabashes. He stops before the broken shrine, the same one where he had once preached of salvation. Collins whispers, "Dear God, what have we done?" Later that night, he slips through the British camp carrying a sack of yams and dried meat. The sentries do not notice. Deep in the forest, he finds Obafemi's hideout. "You should not have come," Obafemi says. Collins replies, voice breaking, "Then let it be said. I came to feed the living, not bury the free." The warrior nods once. Thunder growls over the forest as the rebels gather in the cave. Obafemi stands before them, holding a captured British map. They knew where to strike: the grove, the palace, the caves. Someone told them. Whispers ripple through the warriors. All eyes turn to Chief Odetoro, sweating. Abeni steps forward, voice sharp. "When the king fell, you were not there. When they burned the grove, you vanished." Odetoro stammers, I did what I thought was best for peace." "Peace?" Obafemi roars, "You sold our father's bones for a British medal." Two warriors seize him. Obafemi raises the broken drum, the same one the soldiers had shattered weeks before. He places it before Odetoro. "Your tongue betrayed the gods. Let the drums take it." When it ends, Obafemi kneels and presses his palm to the earth. The gods will not forget again. Outside, The rain begins to fall, soft at first, then heavy, washing blood into the soil. The rain has ended, but the earth still smokes. The British columns move, disciplined, relentless. Captain Wright rides at the front, his expression carved in iron. Behind him, rows of soldiers march through the mud, dragging cannons and crates. Villages burn in their wake, huts collapsing into ash, goats scattering into the bush. Reverend Collins watches from a distance, his face pale. Obafemi and his men, hidden deep in the forest, hear the distant booms of artillery. Each thunderous sound shakes leaves from the trees. Obafemi tightens his grip on his spear. He signals to his warriors, boys now hardened into ghosts of men. Quietly, they scatter into the trees, vanishing like smoke. The forest is burning again. Red flames crawl up the trees, devouring the last green sanctuary of Umwaga's people. Inside a hidden ravine, women, children, and the wounded huddle together. Abeni moves among them, her hands trembling as she presses herbs into wounds and whispers prayers. From beyond the trees, the sound of boots, British soldiers closing in. The villagers are stunned to her. Go, she orders the younger women. Take the children to the river path. The gods will hide you. She lifts a spear and steps out into the clearing. The first soldier to emerge. She raises the spear and rushes to attack. The gunfire begins. She falls, but not before she hurls a flaming torch into the dry brush. The explosion of fire forces the soldiers back. By the time Obafemi reaches the ravine, it is too late. He finds her body among the smoke. He kneels beside her, his tears mixing with ash. You kept the fire, he whispers. Now it's ours to carry. The river glints like silver under the morning sun. Obafemi crouches in the reeds, spear in his hand. Around him, warriors, waiting for the enemy. From upstream, the British supply boat appears, heavy with crates of food, weapons, and powder. Obafemi signals. Arrows and spears fly in unison. The boat shudders, flames leap from oil-soaked crates. The river roars with chaos. Some soldiers fall into the water, others are trapped in the inferno. When silence returns, the supply boat is destroyed, the warriors cheer quietly, cautious of further eyes. Obafemi lifts a hand to the wind. The river remembers, he says. Let this be a warning. From the ashes of the burned grove, old women emerge carrying broken drum pieces. Their hands are gnawed, skin darkened by years of sun and smoke. They arrange the fragments carefully, whispering prayers to the ancestors. One by one, they begin to beat Abeni's song, carried in memory, hums between the beats, a lament and a promise. Each strike sends vibrations through the earth, through roots, stones, and river water. The forest leans in. Birds pause mid-flight. Even the wind seems to wait. Obafemi and the remaining warriors step into the clearing, faces lifted to the rhythm. The children who survived peek from behind trees. The next morning, Obafemi moves silently, leading a small group of survivors along a narrow path. Suddenly, gunfire. Soldiers emerge from the trees, encircling the rebels. Obafemi fights fiercely, but fatigue and wounds slow him. One by one, his comrades were unalived. He staggers, clutching a tree for support. Captain Wright approaches, pistol raised. Enough, warrior, Wright says. Your fight ends here. Obafemi straightens. You can bind my body, he says, voice defiant, but not my spirit. Chains rattle around his wrist as he is hauled to his knees. The jungle seems to grow silent, holding its breath. The village square is bare. Obafemi is brought forward, chained, shoulders straight, eyes defiant. The villagers, hidden in the shadows, forced to witness. Their whispers rise like a soft drumbeat of sorrow and rage. Captain Wright steps forward, pistol raised. Silence falls. Obafemi lifts his voice, clear and unwavering, tell your queen. The drums of this land never die. A gunshot cracks. Smoke curls from the barrel. Time seems to freeze. Then another. And another. Though Obafemi falls, his spirit rises, carried by the land, the children, the rivers, and the drums. The smoke of battle has long since cleared, leaving only silence and ash. British soldiers rebuilt the village, erecting a mission school and a courthouse on the ruins of the sacred grove. Children in crisp uniforms learn English prayers, their voices echoing against walls that once held songs to ancestors. Elders gather at night, telling the story of the warrior who refused to bow and of the drums that still beat beneath the earth. From the forest edge, a faint drum echoes. Obafemi is gone, the kingdom broken, yet the spirit of resistance flows through every hidden path, every beating heart that remembers. Years have passed. The forest has grown over the ruins, reclaiming the land. In a quiet village, an old woman sits beneath a bent iroko tree, her fingers tracing the worn edges of a drum. She begins to sing a soft, forbidden melody. It is Abeni's song, carried through memory, a lament, a prayer, a promise. Children gather around, eyes wide, leaning close to catch each note. The song speaks of fire and blood, of courage and sacrifice. The young ones listen in silence, their hearts stirring. They do not yet understand everything, but the rhythm of resistance pulses in their veins. Outside, the wind bends the branches like bowing heads. Modern Nigeria hums with the pulse of progress. Construction machines claw into the earth near the old village. A worker's shovel strikes something hollow. He digs carefully, uncovering fragments of carved wood, pieces of a sacred drum. The air seems to thrum around it. From somewhere unseen, a voice whispers, soft but commanding, "Empires fall, but the earth remembers." A tremor of sound rises, the drums, buried for generations, answering again. It carries through the city, through rivers, through time itself. Obafemi's spirit lingers in every beat, every heartbeat, every drum. The land remembers, and so do the gods. The drums rise again, eternal, unbroken, alive.